Hello friends, are your Angular and .NET Core apps ready for the future of user authentication? If you have been using Azure AD B2C, listen up. Microsoft just changed the game for customer identity and you need to know about it. In this video, we are kicking off a deep dive into Microsoft Entra External ID, the next generation of CIAM, Custom Identity and Access Management. We will uncover what it is, why it matters, and how to get started right now. So come, let's jump in. The big picture, what Microsoft did. Microsoft identity strategy for customers has evolved. Azure AD B2C was great for consumer apps and B2B handled business partners. Now Microsoft Entra External ID brings them together into a single, unified and modernized platform directly integrated with the large Microsoft Entra ID ecosystems. A rebrand. This isn't just a rebrand, it's a fundamental shift providing better security, simpler management and a clearer path forward for your CIAM needs. Key difference B2C versus external ID. So what's really different? First, Microsoft Entra ID is native to the Microsoft Entra platform, providing tighter integration. Second, it uses a distinct external tenant type optimized for your customer direct. Third, a big one for many of you. It simplifies user journey configuration with built-in user flows, while Azure AD B2C rely heavily on complex custom policies. External ID aims for simpler configuration, though advanced scenarios are still evolving. You will find a much more streamlined admin and developer experience overall. Cost and new customers. Our pricing both offers a generous free tier for the first 50,000 monthly active user and they are also called MAU. Beyond that, external ID's pricing generally aligns with B2C's premium tier, offering more advanced features. Always check Microsoft official pricing page for the latest update. For the new projects, starting May 1st, 2025, new Azure AD B2C tenants are no longer available for purchases. If you are building a new consumer app today, you will create an external tenant directly within the Microsoft Entra Admin Center. It's the straightforward process, so pick external tenant type, set it up and start configuring your user flows. What this means for your existing applications. For your existing Angular and .NET Core application, the core authentication using MSAL and Microsoft.identity.web remains largely the same, leveraging OpenID Connect. So the main changes will be the updating your tenant ID and authority URLs to point to your new external ID tenants. The biggest consideration will be if your B2C solution relied heavily on custom policies, you will need a strategy to adapt those complex user journeys, potentially using built-in external ID user flows or new extension points. And remember, user migrations from B2C to external ID will be a manual process, so plan for that. I will also cover that kind of a concept in the future videos. So why does it matter? Why it matters? And what are the benefits? Ultimately, moving to Microsoft Entra External ID means future-proofing your CIAM solution. You gain enhanced security features, a more streamlined developer experience, and a platform that's built for global scale and ongoing innovations. It's where all new CIAM development from Microsoft will be happening. Now let's put our hands on deck and see the demo. So I logged into portal.azure.com. Okay, so let's go over the existing one so it's easy for our existing viewers and for the new customers and the existing customers. Okay, so let's go over the initial thing. I logged into portal.azure.com and if I go here and click on switch directory, I have my original directory. So if you look at this, my Gmail ID is learnsmartcoding@gmail.com. When you log in with such a account, like you use your email ID to log in to the portal, right? That becomes your primary directory or default directory. So that's why the naming is like this. See, learnsmartcoding@gmail.on Microsoft.com. This is my default directory. I have other directories, and all of these directories also comes under on Microsoft.com, but these are all AD B2C directories. We have enough videos in our channel that talks about AD B2C. For example, Smart Learn by Karthik or Karthik Smart Certify, whatever, right? So let's consider this. If I switch this, this is an Azure AD B2C login. Like, I switched to that directory, which means, see, that's why the color will all change. But here there is no subscription. There's no subscription associated with this. It allowed earlier because you don't need to have a subscription for your Azure AD B2C. You can link a subscription and start using any of the resource, but you don't need to. Okay, that's why it's asking me to start a free trial and blah blah. I'm not starting anything, but just trying to explain you how it was. If I go to AD B2C, what will happen? Under the app registration, we had so many applications registered, especially the Smart Certify app and all. We registered. We have demo that was our previous full stack development video series, right? All of those things are here. Similarly, I can switch the directory to the previous demo. Like, this is also again a different AD B2C. Okay, I'm trying to go inside one or two existing AD B2C like this to show you how things are done earlier, right? So for example, if I go here, we would have done so many. You see this? So many different application. Everything is working. So if I go to the Smart Certify app here, which uses an old Azure AD B2C, which was no longer available now, it will continue to work until 2030, another 5 years. I have no issues. Slowly I can migrate. Company who uses will slowly accommodate, plan and migrate, right? That's why they give that such a big long distance of time, like duration of time. Now what we are going to do in this video is, we are going to take this code, this application code, and reconfigure this into Entra's external ID, and we'll make this application functional. That is what we are going to do. Okay, so now we know what it is, how existing AD B2C is configured. It's time for us to switch. So first, let me go back to my default directory. Okay, this is my default directory. I go back to my default directory and then let it load. We don't need to wait. Fine. So this one has subscription. This in fact has 4 subscription. If I go to subscription, the main directory has 4 subscription. Any of the subscription I can use to create the resources. Okay, just take a look at this for one. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to enter entra.microsoft.com. Only because I've already logged in with my email ID, it knows who I am. Because of the SSO session, Microsoft will automatically re-authenticate me and take me to the default directory. Great. This is how you should go. Entra.microsoft.com. This shows who I am, all of those things, right? If you go to the left side under overview, okay, it is showing me which directory. So let's take a look. Where am I now? Oh, I'm on a different directory. Let's go back to my original directory. Okay, this is my original directory. Again, same thing. I go here. If you do, probably you will not even see this, because I was keep playing around this for a long time. Before this demo, I was getting these things. See, when I'm on my primary directory, I will show one more time. This is my primary directory. I am on my primary directory. The moment you're on a primary directory and you are the first one to log in, you will automatically become a global administrator. You have every single rights on this one. That's why I am myself a global administrator. Okay, now come under this left side, identity overview. That is where we are saying this is my default directory, this is my name, etc, etc. All of those things are showing up, right? If I expand this external identity, I can see these many things. Let's see, let's show more. Let's click on overview. Let's go back to home. I'm on this page. I'm on overview. If you look at this, there's something called manage tenants. Click on manage tenants. what will happen is it will show whatever we were doing it here. Whatever you are doing it here is showing here, and you can see the symbol, right? See this one, a cube with some violet color stuff. They are all AD B2C. This is AD B2C, AD B2C. All see 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 AD B2C tenants. The other things are few of my users who gave me access to help them out. So theirs is showing. There's all their workforce. You see, that's the difference of workforce and AD B2C. It clearly shows who's AD B2C workforce. Workforce means your primary account. You are the organization. That's why this is called workforce. This is a different workforce that I have because they're linked at showing up. So don't worry if it is not showing up for you. So hear me out. If you already had AD B2C setup done based on my tutorial, if you navigate to entra.microsoft.com with your initial login, you will also start seeing your AD B2C here. Okay, now we can switch between this. If I click here and say switch, let's take a good example. Let's take this and switch. I'm switching to that AD B2C. How I switched here, I can switch like this. I'm still under entra.microsoft.com, but I'm switching to that directory. The moment I switch to the directory, you see this, I still have the Entra's left menu. On top of that, AD B2C's left menu. I can see my application here. I can see everything like user flows. See, I can see my users. I can see user flows here. See, these are the examples that we saw, right? So all of the existing stuff will be there. How do I create a new one? Let's go back to our existing overview, manage. You can switch to your existing one. In this case, this is my default. I clicked here, switch. Okay, I'm trying to reset and go to the original state. So it'll be easy for you guys to understand. We were here. Okay, let's say you're new to this video. You have never done any AD B2C. When you enter entra.microsoft.com and come under identity under overview, you will be here. You will not have anything else. Okay, so it's easy to visualize. In order to create a new Entra External ID, click on add. Okay, in order to create a new Entra External ID, click on manage tenants. Okay, so they're all tenants, right? Click on create. See, at this point of time, workforce for me it is disabled because obviously there's only one workforce for me. I cannot create workforce. Not only for that, you need to have the license, Microsoft P1 license, the primary license. Okay, we don't have that. We are all like, just the developers using whatever is free. So I have an external one. Continue. It says you should have an Azure subscription. Use Azure subscription. And here, this is what you were doing earlier when you create a new Azure AD B2C. So here what we will do, let's create a meaningful name. Okay, so I filled up a tenant name called Learn Smart Coding External ID Entra External ID Demo, and I gave this as a name 0 to 27 characters. So this one dot on Microsoft.com. This matches. There's a check mark here. Now here you have to choose the country. This cannot be changed. Okay, so I choose whatever is closest to me, and this here is the place where this tenant is created and all of the users and other informations are stored. So we have to be careful. For your local development purpose, this is fine. If you're from India, choose India. If you're from a different country, Australia, Canada, or anywhere else around the globe, according to your country, you choose it. Or even if you're in India, you have to choose United States. It's okay. Just that your contents are going to be stored in the United States, not in India. Okay, just to be clear what it does. Now, next is add a subscription. It's mandatory that you have to beat this under a subscription. Remember, as of this recording, this isn't under preview. There is no cost for us. So we can always choose a subscription here. Okay, so I'm going to choose maybe this subscription, Azure Concepts Demo subscription. Resource group, you can either create or delete it. You can either create or select one of the existing one. Let me choose this because the application is related to this, and I'll put under this one, or I will create Entra ID RG. Okay, let's choose this, and then this is the location of the resource group. You see this monthly active users. You will not be charged for this as this feature is currently in preview. Good, no? Never, God knows what happens after some time. We'll wait and see. Next is review and create. Validation passes. Remember, this is our new domain name. Okay, I'm going to create. So this is how a new Entra External ID tenant is being created under entra.microsoft.com. Once this is created, see, tenant creation is under process. Okay, once this is created, we can switch to that and see what and all capabilities we have. Alright, see, the tenant got created, and we can click here to go inside this. See, it is taking us to a next tab with that as a switched one. So its directories got switched to the new one, and we're going to go inside and see what happens. Alright, see, we created it, and here we go, our tenant name, and it also shows what's new. All of those informations are here when we created. So let's go under users, under all users. See, there should not be any users except me. Makes sense. You know why? See, if I log out and log in, if you closely look at the URL, you see this is the tenant. If I log in or create an account, the user will belong to this tenant. Similarly, this is a new tenant, right? This is a new tenant. I'm going to reconfigure everything. So the users who registered here is only me. After I finish this and deploy, if you try to log in, it will come here. Okay, so let's see how we will migrate our existing one to the newer one, especially the app that we recently implemented, which is Smart Certify app. Okay, so now this is users. Let's go back. This is overview. This is users, all users, deleted users, user settings, groups. We have many more stuff, right? So groups and all were not there. We can use devices. We can use BitLocker key. Here is our application. Under protection, we have password reset, authentication methods. Let's see, what do we have in authentication method? We have these many authentication methods. See, SMS is not enabled, temporary access pass is enabled. Let's see what happens. See, you can use the Microsoft Authenticator. SMS, if I click, this authentication method will send a one-time passcode to the phone number. SMS can only be used for multi-factor authentication. It is not supported for the first factor authentication or a self-service password reset. This is for extra feature, extra authentication. SMS is an add-on feature. We'll apply an additional charge per SMS sent to the end user, which will include built-in fraud protection service. See, there's a cost involved in it. If I click here, the cost is going to be shown. See, you will get message like this. I have no idea how much is the cost. Anyway, we are not going to enable this, so let's leave this, discard. We don't want it. And we have roles. This is new. You see this? Earlier this was not possible, right? Because now this AD B2C is in part of the Entra, right? Start infrastructures and all of those roles and other stuff, you can actually assign it. This is going to be very nice. Okay, we will talk about this role assignment and all later. All right, so that wraps up our essential introduction to Microsoft Entra External ID. Today we have walked through Microsoft's strategic shift in customer identity, understood the core difference between B2C and its new unified platform, seen how new external ID tenants are created right within the Entra admin center, and even got a quick peek at its streamlined interface. So this is just the beginning of your journey into next generation CIAM. In part 2 of the series, we are going to roll up ourselves and dive into practical implementation. We will configure everything needed within our new external ID tenant, setting up user flows, registering our applications, and then the exciting part, getting our Angular frontend and .NET Core API backend talking securely with Microsoft Entra External ID. You don't want to miss it. So if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into Angular, .NET and identity, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss part 2. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Happy coding!